So when someone types in my name, it says I'm a screenwriter, and you're me. They have a photo of me first.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to find more about you. We Googled you. And according to Wikipedia, Brad Riddell is a New Zealand-born American kickboxer, screenwriter, and professor whose work includes American Pie, Presents, Bandcamp, and Road Trip Beer Pong. He's also a world kickboxing champion, recently contracted to the UFC. Brad's first film, American Pie, Bandcamp, remains the highest.
Huge success.
You're currently working on a new film. You also remain undefeated in the UFC. You will continue a winning streak on Fight Island as soon as safely possible. Thanks for joining us, Brad Riddell.
Well, good. What's up?
You're a very busy man. Do you ever sleep? How is this possible?
I don't need sleep.
So, the other dude in our chat is Brad Riddell.
What's up, Brad?
That's bad. Is your last name actually Riddell?
It is, yeah.
So you're Scottish?
I'm sorry?
Your ancestors are Scottish?
That's what I've been told. Yeah. How about you?
You don't know?
Yeah.
Your ancestry?
I don't know. I've never done the ancestry.com bit, so I'm not exactly sure.
You come from a very proud line of peasants.
That's fitting. You know, I feel like that fits. Yeah.
Well done. So
yeah, good to meet you, man.
We both did something all right with our peasantry line of ancestry, huh?
Yeah.
So when someone types in my name, it says I'm a screenwriter, and you're me. They have a photo of me first.
Yeah. It's good for me.
So you shrunk, and your
American
stood up. I'm probably like,
it's so awesome.
Lucky he's a screenwriter when they look at the face, eh?
So, well, I also I teach at the university, at DePaul University in Chicago, and I'm sure people like look me up when they're deciding whether they want to go to my program. I'm like, I don't know, man.
They come in the class and they're like, substitutes here.
People have noticed before, especially people who I can tell if they've been Googling me or, if they're fight fans. I think that last fight in February sort of raised your profile here. I started getting a lot more attention. I got a lot more attention after you won that fight. So I'm really grateful.
Well, they're going to get excited when they realize you have a home fight. You should tweet that. Got a fight at home next.
Yeah, that's right, man. I'm going to get everybody out. We needed the Riddell banner, the big, some kind of flag. See, the funny thing is, we looked up the Riddell logo, or whatever you call it, the crest.
Yeah.
And it has like a bunch of wheat on it, like stalks of wheat.
I told you.
I'm like, I'm celiac, man. I'm allergic to wheat. Like, I'm like, our family crest. I'm allergic to it. I can't even. It's terrible.
When you get off this computer, you go research yourself. Find out about your last name.
Well, you should give me lessons. We do this every once in a while. You teach me about my heritage and give me some push-ups and exercises I got to do, stuff like that. Are we the only Brad Riddells? Like, have you found anybody else?
I've never found a Brad.
Are you a Bradley or just a Brad?
Bradley. What do you do?
I'm Richard Bradley. Yeah. My first name's Richard. I go by my middle name.
What were you like as a kid? Were you aggressive? Because every Brad I know was a dick.
Yeah. Anytime you watch a movie, right, Brad is always like the country club dick or it's the name of like you said, the douchebag name.
So when you introduce yourself and you're like, I'm Bradley, and they go, ugh, you go, well, actually, my first name's Richard. You can call me by that, eh?
So, yeah.
I'm Bradley Steven. I don't want to be called Steven.
Well, Steven's better than Richard because Richard becomes dick, and then you're like, whatever. So when I was a kid, I was like, scrawny, man. I was like scrawny, scrappy dude. I was not super aggressive. I talked a lot. That's how my whole life has been about talking, man. I don't think I've ever been in a fist fight. Probably disappointing you, Brad.
I'll do it. I'll do it for us, and you do the writing.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to write a curriculum at the moment, and oh god, it's hard. I'm getting headaches.
If I can help, I don't know anything about fighting, but I know a lot about curriculum. So if I can help with anything, you let me know.
And grammar.
I mean, if they're going to pair two people with the same name in the world, I think we're a good team.
I do. Well.
Yeah. I mean, I think, we cover a lot of bases. I've always been worried about this, since I came to find out about you. And I wondered if you ever considered flying to the States and bashing my face in when you found out that I got the Twitter account and the Instagram account, Brad Riddell, before you did.
I couldn't get Brad Riddell on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter, so I'm not.
All right.
But luckily, I got a fight name, so I just used that instead. So that kind of worked.
Well, so I was wondering, did you have to create Quake because I had stolen your Instagram account and your Twitter account, or did you already have the name Quake?
I had the name Quake already.
Okay.
But I should have recorded this because I could have answered all these questions that keep coming to my Instagram saying, "Why you're a screenwriter?" Every week. I get them every week. Get these tweets.
Every week I get these tweets, especially after you fight. Congratulations, man! Great fight! You're the best. You're a beast. And I'm like, that's right. That's right. I am a beast. You have a very particular set of skills. And I was wondering, you know, I wrote a hockey movie once too. Have you ever considered putting on some skates and fighting on ice?
Well, if you just push me in the right direction, I'll fight. I won't be able to get to the fight. You have to push me and give me momentum.
That'll work.
Well, Marissa's a figure skater. Was a figure skater.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
I took her ice skating, actually, not that long ago, and it was real embarrassing, so I won't do that again. I held her handbag and held onto the rail.
Okay.
What UFC fighter does that? There was fucking kids skating better than me. They were like 5, and I was on the rail with the handbag trying to film her do like a spin. And then I realized what I was doing. I was like, we're leaving.
Somebody should have got a picture of that, Brad. Somebody should have been there like...
People there clearly knew who I was because they were looking at me weird.
And were you holding like fire? Were you holding like this? Oh, like this? Okay, clearly.
Well,
so is there a secret to
that? I had to like this and flail when I like slipped. You know what was worse? The kids there get given these like old people walkers so they can stay up. And I wanted one, but they skate around with them and they don't stop, so they hit you. And it was like bumper cars.
What about road trips? I wrote a road trip movie once. You ever had a good road trip or a bad road trip you've been on?
I've had good and bad, many. But even the bad ones kind of turn out good, I guess. They're good stories.
What's your favorite road trip story?
I've had some good ones in Phuket, going to some parties on an island that you drive to on your scooter. I drove like 7 hours on a scooter to get to this party, and I drove onto the ferry, and then we drove off the ferry, and that was some pretty fun road trips. But this was back in Thailand when there wasn't really any rules.
All right, so I got another question for you. I'm about 6'4", 230, and we measured my reach today. It's about 81 inches tip to tip. You know, so I wondered, like, what kind of fight style would you recommend for me? Like, if I was going to start getting into the fight game, what should I do? Well,
funny that, because I actually just wrote a thing on short guys how to beat tall guys.
All right, so let's hear it.
And I've also got the Tall Fighter's Guide. For you, range is the most important thing as a taller fighter. Being able to manipulate distance with upper body movement and hand control. This is going to get pretty... This is going to get deep. Using your right shoulder to square the upper body and leaning forward slightly can distort someone's distance perception and cause them to throw, allowing the taller fighter to just lean back into your natural stance and counter with your body weight being centered. Controlling the lead hand of the opponent, using your lead hand to reach out and rest on the opponent's lead hand, manipulating distance, grabbing, pulling, pushing, manipulating the hand to open up attacks or feel when the opponent moves to attack you. It goes on and on.
You know, have you ever heard of Bizarro Superman, like regular Superman and Bizarro Superman? Did you ever see that story?
No.
Who are you?
Like the Superman from another dimension came into our universe and like fought our Superman. And he's like all backwards. And I figure I'm Bizarro Superman and you're like real Superman. So like, what is your favorite superhero?
It was Black Panther probably, but Thor most of the time, not really because he's the man, just because he's more funny as in those movies, especially in Ragnarok.
He's cool. Hemsworth.
Everything. Who's yours?
You know what? I've always kind of been a Batman guy. I kind of like, so I've never, even though I'm like...
Take away your gadgets, what's super about you?
Exactly. See, that's my problem. I'm a gigantic gorilla guy, but I'm not a good fighter, right? So I need tools. Like I'd have to have tools to survive, right? Like people always think my nose has been broken, like, but it's never been broken. How many times has your nose been broken? Like, do you have a count at this point?
Nah, no count. I don't even know when it breaks sometimes. I think it just moves a little bit because sometimes it gets hurt and I can breathe better. It's good.
Who snores louder though, you or Bert?
Bert. Even Marissa says Bert. Yeah, it's real bad.
What's been the biggest challenge you faced in like working your way up through the ranks, getting fights, and becoming a pro?
Getting fights was the hardest thing. What you just said there towards the end, like when you want to progress to the top or fight the best guys in the world, you'd think they'd be willing to fight the best people they can find, right? To sort of test yourself, because you think that. Well, I think that being in the sport, that's the only goal, is to see if you're the best fighter in the world. But as you get close to the top, everyone sort of tries to protect their record and they don't want to fight you. So they try avoid having hard fights. So it's actually really hard to get one. And because I went into mixed martial arts with like a big kickboxing record, like my friend Israel did, it can be very hard to fight people in MMA that aren't super, super experienced, because guys that haven't had a lot of fights aren't very keen to fight somebody with a big rap sheet, you know? That was the hardest thing, was getting fights at the end just before the UFC. But now you're in the UFC, that people have to fight you because they get told what to do. It's good. There's no dodging.
I woke up one morning and had like 20 tweets. Yeah, man, yeah! And I was like, what'd I do? Like, I slept really well. You know, I mean, the bacon was great. And so I finally figured it out, you know, and so I got on, I saw that you'd won, you know, so I was secretly very proud of you, even though we hadn't met yet. And I was like, go Quake.
Are you a UFC fan now?
You know, I followed on ESPN, right? Like I know some of the fighters, I know what's going on. I don't tune in much, but man, now I got a fighter, you know, I'm going to like have somebody back who's got my name. I think we've got to figure out a way to get you in a movie, man. We'll have to figure this out, how to get you, Brad Riddell, directed by Brad Riddell. I think that would be the best. Maybe there's a book or a movie in this, man. Maybe we should collaborate and like combine our Brad Riddell power.
Angry Brad.
Yeah.
Who do you think should or would play you in a movie?
Like a famous person? What about
Aren't you guys great mates?
What about the guy on King Arthur? The motorbike movie. What's it called? Sons of Anarchy.
I'm gonna look it up. I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay.
You played King Arthur?
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I got lucky in Angry Brad's picture. That's my picture. That's awesome.
This guy.
That's a good choice.
What?
Okay. What is your favorite movie?
I like the Marvels.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do like the Marvels. But I also like the Departed. Mark Wahlberg.
So you're going to be in the U.S. anytime soon?
Yeah, my next fight is in America. Where are you?
Okay. I'm in Chicago.
Cool. I want to go there anyway. I want to have some deep dish pizza.
You going to fight in Vegas, or where is it?
I'm not sure yet. They haven't told me because of this. Yeah, because of COVID. So I guess we'll either be fighting on that island, or we'll be fighting in Vegas at this place called the Apex, which is their little training center. But you just don't fight in front of a crowd or anything like that. It's like a room with a cage, and there'll be like the fighters or the ref, the judges, and a camera crew. Yeah, pretty different. Yeah.
So I guess I'd say if I could get to Vegas, could I get a backstage pass? But it doesn't sound like I'd be allowed in anyway.
If they do let people in, I'll get you a ticket.
I will find my way there. I want to go see it. I want to like put on the tape. You know, Mickey cut my eye, like that whole bit. You know, we can fool people. Like I could come down the tunnel with the, you know, like I could be like, who the fuck's that? Like, he's not a lightweight.
Imagine that.
You think you can? I mean, I should go into. I could do a training montage with Brad training Brad. You know, Rocky style, like lifting like ox up and stuff. And
American Brad, have you ever thought of starting to train MMA or kickboxing or combat sports?
Well, you know, I did think for a while that I wanted to do some kind of martial art. In college, one of my roommates did jiu-jitsu, and I thought that would be really cool because, you know, he would break my arms, like, and I think, I want to learn how to do that. And so by the time I got ready to do it, unfortunately, I had a brain injury, and now I got a super fragile skull. Like, I couldn't take a hit.
Lucky we have a relative that makes NFL helmets, eh?
Exactly. I just put on that grill, man. Let's fight.
Good.
Do you get asked about that too? Are you part of the Riddell football helmet family?
I actually claim that to my real dumb mates that my uncle makes. Okay. They believe it. Hook, line, sinker.
Yeah, but that was a good question, Jamie. I can't. I used to be a bike racer, actually. I've always done endurance sports. I swim and run and bike, triathlon, stuff like that. And played a little bit of volleyball. But yeah, after that head thing, yeah, I mean, I was kind of told in no uncertain terms that I should not knock my noggin. People have been telling me, yeah, you can still train. I'm like, yeah, but like one slip, somebody messes up, and then...
Even in jiu-jitsu, I get hit in the head in jiu-jitsu quite a bit by accident, like a knee or a foot or something like that. You're going to ask me if I've ever considered being a screenwriter?
We all know the answer to that. You don't even know how to read.
You don't actually seem that angry. I know they called you. You don't seem very angry.
Nah, just people at training piss me off, so everyone thinks I'm angry. But outside
Do
of
people
training,
ever come up to you and try to piss you off on purpose because they know you're a fighter? Do people like provoke you, like to see if they can get a rise?
when I was younger, yeah. Not now.
Not now. That's good.
Now you're more of like they look at you as a fighter, but they kind of look at you a bit different, like as like a sort of public figure rather, more like 50-50. When you're like not well known, everyone just they just think you're a fighter and poke you a little bit and annoy you outside of the gym, I guess. But now it's different, yeah.
So you must be like a rock star in New Zealand.
Not really. Israel was one of our friends. Do you know who Israel Adesanya is?
I don't. Oh yeah, no, I know that name. I think. Yeah, I think I've seen him.
Poster boy. So he's like he's a rock star. Yeah, he drives around like a McLaren, stuff like that.
Well, you ride an EV right now? Is that what you're in? Electric vehicle or?
No. I just have a tiny little Mazda Demio, which is pretty much runs on the breath of the air.
Yeah.
It's a good car.
And how's those driving lessons going with Marissa?
We've had 2 in 2 or 3 years. Another thing I get slightly frustrated at is Americans trying to drive on our side of the road.
Uh-huh.
I think Jamie commented it. Do you have a booster seat?
No, but the seat is very close to the steering wheel. Very close.
Tiny.
So Jamie, are you super? What's the lowest fight class? Is it like featherweight or
atom weight?
Are you atom weight? Is that what you would be? Atom weight?
What's
straw weight? Straw weight.
That's 115.
What do you weigh?
I fought at 50 kg.
Yeah, isn't that like
that would be like a Tongan 8-year-old.
110, 108-year-old, 4-year-old. I've got kids store bigger than you, and now I'm still running around nude.
I have a question for you, Brad. UFC Brad. Did you celebrate your recent win with a road trip and a game of beer pong?
I didn't do road trips, but I've been playing heaps of beer pong at my house lately, a few times a week.
Still going.
Did he know?
Did
she know that I wrote a beer pong movie? Did you know that?
I was like, this is fake, guys.
I have another game, with cups called Slap Cup. Makes everybody spew.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. That starts.
I pretty much owned the world of beer pong movies. I pioneered the world of beer pong movies, and to this day, I've written the only beer pong movie. So I was hoping for many sequels on that one, but I guess it didn't quite catch on. But Danny Pudi from Community, if you all watch that, he was in that movie. Pretty funny guy.
I used to have, when I was 18 in our first flat, we had a beer pong room.
I have a beer pong table from Universal Studios they gave me at the end of the movie. It's got road trip beer pong on it. It's an official beer pong table, and we should play a game, man, someday. We should.
Say that. Are you any good?
No, I'm terrible. I don't drink anymore. Like I quit drinking, so I don't know. Maybe I can play with apple juice or something like that.
I'll still play with you.
Maybe you can be a double, like you throw and he drinks for you, and then you have to verse someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll take you two with us. Except I'll have Nat because she's got more reach.
Do you guys have the rule where if the ball hits the table, goes off your chest and goes in, it's game over?
Drink it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just drink that cup.
Yeah, okay.
Overthrow, catch it. They have to drink.
Yeah, see, I had to study the international beer pong rules. I had to be like right on top of that. Yeah, we should stage that someday.
Well, we're going to hang around in America. Is Chicago now?
Chicago's in the Midwest.
We're going to New York after my next fight, so we could go to Chicago.
On the way, drop by. It's right in the middle between Vegas and New York.
Marissa, come in. She's American. She'll take me there.
We'll get you some deep dish pizza.
Yes.
We'll get some good beer in the city. Do all kinds of stuff.
Good. You
remind me of a little bit. Now that I've been looking at you for a little while. Is the Edge from U2 with your beanie on? You got a little bit of that going. Like when he was younger, but he's Irish. You don't think so? But yeah, when he was younger, like. He always wears a beanie like all the time.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me.
Okay, all right, there we go. I was a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you could double pull out the guitar.
I don't have a guitar.
All right, couple more questions.
I know that Brad loves a meat pie, but like, have you ever loved an apple pie?
An apple pie. Yeah, I ate a whole apple pie last week. I ate apple pie and a carrot cake.
I don't think she means eating, man. She asked if you have ever loved an apple pie. Like in the movie?
From the film.
American Pie?
Yeah, I remember. He fucks the apple pie, right?
Yeah, I didn't write that one.
Pie or meat pie? I don't know. Like, if you're going to take it that far.
Yeah, I'd probably choose apple. Might be a meat pie. You might hit lumps on the way in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think apple pie is a good choice.
Yeah.
Jamie just pictured today, me and a pie. I saw your face.
Man, cinnamon would burn, right?
I think any hot pie with your dick in it would burn.
Okay, last one.
I'm finishing a new movie here soon. Hopefully it's out next year. I mean, the virus is slowing things down a lot. So we should do some cross promotion, Brad. Like when you're here for a fight and I got the movie, and we'll take America by storm. They have us on Anderson Cooper. They'll have a Good Morning America here with Brad Riddell and Brad Riddell. Well, this has been a blast. Like, lots of questions that I can, someday we'll do round 2.
Brad, I always thought it was weird how you didn't have Brad Riddell as your handle, and now we know why.
Hey.
I beat you to the punch.
And with that,
Goodbye.